out with a stinging criticism tonight. The president's defense calling impeachment illegitimate and dangerous. His accusers calling the president's conduct the founding fathers' worst nightmare. The famous defense attorney hired by the president previewing his case, why he says the House went too far. New images of that massive winter storm, thousands of flights canceled or delayed, hundreds of accidents on icy roads. Now, fresh snow, temperatures plunging, and the new cross-country storm on the way. Also tonight, dozens of new cases of that mystery virus confirmed, sparking outbreak fears across the globe. Screenings at major U.S. airports. Our Bob Woodruff in the country where it started. Collision at sea, a boat slamming into a speeding jet ski. The rider knocked unconscious, plunging into the water, and the young deckhand who saved his life. The SpaceX rocket exploding just 84 seconds into its flight. Why company president Elon Musk says he's, quote, fired up the escape drill that could save future astronauts. And the hidden treasure in a thrift store couch, more than $40,000, and one man's decision to give it all back.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. We start with some breaking news tonight. A violent rampage with shots fired. At least 2 police officers have been killed. The FBI now on the scene. The alarming images as ambulances rush to the area, speeding by a public park. Black smoke seen there in the distance. And a suspect reportedly stabbing one person, then setting a home on fire. Several other homes engulfed in flames. Police taking up defensive positions near the scene, weapons drawn. The tense situation underway for hours. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez with the images coming in and the new details.
Tonight, those raging flames in this Honolulu neighborhood, just a glimpse of the chaos unfolding there that law enforcement sources tell our affiliate KITV left 2 officers dead. Local media reporting it started when the suspect was served an eviction notice and stabbed his female landlord. First responders rushing to the scene met by gunfire. The suspect, according to KITV, shooting at least 3 officers.
They were doing CPR on the police officer, and then there was a loud bang, sounded like a shotgun. Then there was 5 or 6 gunshots, sounded like pistol shots. And then they brought out another officer on a stretcher.
The suspect then reportedly setting his landlord's house on fire. The flames quickly spreading out of control, with firefighters forced to stay back because of the ongoing danger. And our affiliate reports the suspect still is not in custody. Tonight, that landlord and at least 1 officer are reportedly hospitalized, and the FBI is now on the scene there in Hawaii. Tom?
Marcy Gonzalez following that breaking news out of Honolulu. All right, Marcy, thank you. And we're also following some major developments involving the royal family tonight. Prince Harry breaking his silence after that agreement with the Queen, saying it gives him great sadness to step away from his royal duties, but there was no other way for him and Meghan to lead a more peaceful life. And tonight, new details of what they've agreed to. ABC's Lama Hassan is outside Buckingham Palace.
Good evening, everyone.
Tonight, Prince Harry opening up for the first time since the Queen's new announcement that he and Meghan will no longer be working members of the royal family.
It brings me great sadness that it has come to this. The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly.
An emotional Prince revealing how difficult this decision was.
What I want to make clear is we're not walking away. And we certainly aren't walking away from you.
Today, the Queen putting on a brave face following a consequential week that rocked her family, attending church this morning with her son, Prince Andrew, still dealing with his own personal battles. Harry will soon be flying out to Canada to join Meghan and baby Archie. Buckingham Palace announcing the blueprint for their new role. The couple will no longer be representing the Queen in any capacity, nor receiving public funds, and the UK will not be their permanent home.
A lot of people will feel that this is a huge loss to the monarchy moving forward.
Harry and Meghan also pledging to return $3 million in public funds spent on refurbishing their Windsor home, Frogmore Cottage, which they plan to keep as their UK residence. This new chapter in the couple's life will begin this spring, but precisely how this new role will shape out remains to be seen. There are still questions over how the couple will earn money, who will pay for their security, and where in North America they will live. Meghan's estranged father weighing in on the announcement.
This is like one of the greatest long living institutions ever. They're destroying it. They're cheapening it. They're making it shabby.
But the Queen herself acknowledging the, quote, intense scrutiny the couple had been under, constantly in the papers, much of the coverage critical. The couple themselves saying they struggle to cope with life in the royal spotlight.
All right, Lama Hassan joins us now live from Buckingham Palace. And Lama, this was the first time Prince Harry addressed the exit in person, that he and Meghan will no longer be working members of the royal family?
Yes, that's correct, Tom. So in this emotional speech that Prince Harry made tonight, he talks about taking a leap of faith and not wanting to disappoint the Queen, who he calls his commander-in-chief. Now, remember this new arrangement that they have, that will come under review in a year's time. So this could potentially mean they are leaving the door open for the couple. Tom.
Lama Hassan live from London for us. Lama, thank you. And back here at home to the historic week in the impeachment of President Trump. The trial set to essentially begin on Tuesday, and tonight, the president heading back to Washington after his lawyers released their first legal argument, calling the case against him, quote, illegitimate and dangerous, while House Democrats were preparing to make their case, meeting in Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office. ABC's David Wright starts us off tonight in West Palm Beach, Florida.
President Trump has made clear his disdain for the impeachment process, but this weekend, Trump's lawyers filed his first formal response. This 6-page letter blasting the House impeachment effort as poisonous partisanship, a lawless process, arguing nothing in these articles could permit even beginning to consider removing a duly elected president.
Is it your position that President Trump should not be impeached, even if all the evidence and arguments laid out by the House are accepted as fact?
That's right.
Former Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz just joined the president's defense team. His past clients include Jeffrey Epstein, O.J. Simpson, and Klaus von Bülow. Dershowitz claims that abuse of power is not grounds for impeachment.
Half of American presidents have been accused by their political enemies of abusing their power. The framers didn't want to have that kind of criteria in the Constitution because it weaponizes impeachment for partisan purposes.
The abuse of power is at the center of what the framers intended an impeachable offense to be. The mere idea of this would have appalled the founders, who were worried about exactly that kind of solicitation of foreign interference in an election for a personal benefit.
One major sticking point at the start of this trial is the issue of witnesses, after the White House refused to cooperate with the House investigation.
If my argument succeeds, there's no need for witnesses. Indeed, there's no need for even arguments.
Senate Republicans plan to postpone the witness issue until after House managers present their case and the president responds, as was done in the Clinton impeachment.
I'm going to vote against calling the 4 witnesses requested by Senator Schumer. They're all covered by executive privilege. They're part of the national security team of the president. They could have been called in the House. They chose not to.
If Senator McConnell prevails and there are no witnesses, it will be the first impeachment trial in history that goes to conclusion without witnesses.
David Wright joins us now from West Palm Beach, where the president was spending the weekend. David, the trial essentially begins on Tuesday, but they still haven't announced the rules?
That's right, Tom, and one of the first things we can expect is a fight over the rules. The Democrats are determined to hear from new witnesses and to see new documents. Republicans are pushing back on that. They want a quick trial, and they're likely to push for that on Tuesday. Tom?
David Wright for us tonight. David, thank you. And ABC News will carry the historic moment live, team coverage of the impeachment trial when it returns Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern on the network and streaming everywhere on ABC News Live. We do move on to that massive winter storm and the bitter blast underway. Fresh lake effect snow in Erie, Pennsylvania today, causing this multi-vehicle accident on I-89. The Cleveland skyline hidden by the snow there in parts. It comes ahead of a new cross-country storm on the way. The forecast in a moment. But first, ABC's Kaylee Hartung with what this week's storm has left behind.
Tonight, lake effect snow pounding parts of the Great Lakes after that deadly winter storm wreaked havoc for millions. At least 2 people killed, more than 1,300 flights canceled, and hundreds of miles of highways closed as that massive storm kicked up high winds and blinding snow, cars flipping over on icy roads. In Erie, Pennsylvania, dangerous road conditions leading to a chain reaction crash involving more than a dozen semi-trucks. Several people seriously injured in this 15-car pileup in New York City. Police believed icy road conditions caused the crash. Officials in Minnesota say they've responded to more than 600 crashes since Friday, the storm dumping more than a foot of snow there. In Michigan, heavy snow burying cars, forcing drivers to shovel their way out.
I shoveled for, probably took me about 2 hours.
Hold on. And take a look at this video from Massachusetts. First responders carefully trying to rescue this terrified dog from a frozen pond.
Tom, with all of the melting snow and this Arctic blast now sweeping in, officials are warning to watch out for icy roads in the morning. Tom?
All right, Kaylee, thank you. Meteorologist Greg Dutra from our Chicago station, WLS, is here. And Greg, a lot of treacherous driving ahead in several parts of the country.
Yeah, that's right. We could see another storm system by the end of the week, but that lake effect snow machine has been churning all day in northern New York and through the Great Lakes. This is really spurred on by an Arctic blast of air, and we're going to be feeling those temperatures across the U.S., the deepest south dive of very cold wind chills that we have seen so far this season. Wind chills will drop into the teens in Atlanta, all the way up to New York City, and it stays like that through early next week while we do track our next winter system, this one going across the country, starting in the Pacific Northwest on Tuesday and making its way to the northeast by the end of next week. Tom?
All right, we'll keep our eye on that system, and great to have you here this weekend. Greg, thank you. Now, that mystery new virus sparking concern around the globe, China reporting dozens of new cases of the deadly coronavirus, just as millions set out to travel ahead of the Lunar New Year in that area. And several U.S. airports are screening arriving passengers from the region. ABC's Bob Woodruff monitoring the outbreak from Hong Kong tonight.
Tonight, Chinese health officials confirming 77 new cases of the mysterious new strain of the coronavirus that has now been linked to 3 deaths. Authorities say 201 people have been infected, and with a busy travel season for the Lunar New Year approaching, there are serious concerns the Wuhan outbreak could spread.
I think it could possibly easily spread. There are a lot of people going back and forth, especially with Chinese New Year.
Health officials in China are taking no chances.
These are all people coming from Wuhan, landing here in Hong Kong. And the health surveillance team comes and gives them forms to fill out, and they put this device where they can point at their head and measure their temperature.
The CDC is deploying 100 health experts to 3 American airports, JFK in New York, LAX, and San Francisco International in California. They plan to screen thousands of passengers arriving from Wuhan, checking for symptoms like cough and fever. Officials warn the virus may have the potential to spread from person to person.
Now, the World Health Organization says even though there are additional cases right now, they are not recommending people to restrict their travel plans, at least not yet. Tom?
Bob Woodruff reporting from Hong Kong tonight for us. Bob, thank you. Next to the state of emergency in Virginia, ahead of a gun rights rally slated for tomorrow. The event is drawing people from all across the country, and law enforcement is on edge after what they say are credible threats of violence. Already 3 men linked to a white supremacist group are under arrest. ABC's Victor Oquendo is there in Richmond tonight.
Tonight, Richmond, Virginia, bracing for potentially dangerous protests. Thousands of gun rights advocates from across the country expected at the Capitol Monday, fighting new proposed gun control legislation. Local, state, and federal law enforcement on high alert. Fencing now surrounding the Capitol. Security is tight.
Violence will not be tolerated. And if that is your group or your intention on Monday, then you're not welcome.
Fearing a repeat of the deadly violence in Charlottesville 2 years ago and citing credible threats, Virginia's governor declaring a state of emergency. Ahead of the rally, 7 alleged white supremacists with ties to the neo-Nazi group The Base have been arrested. Authorities saying at least 3 of them had been planning to attend Monday.
We're seeing threats of violence. We're seeing threats of armed confrontation and assault on our Capitol.
The governor also banning all weapons from Capitol grounds. That move enraging gun rights advocates, some taking legal action, but the state Supreme Court ultimately siding with the governor. In response, President Trump tweeting in part, "Your Second Amendment is under very serious attack in the great Commonwealth of Virginia."
And Victor joins us now live from the state capitol in Richmond. Authorities clearly making sure they've prepared and are learning from that deadly incident in Charlottesville.
That's right, Tom. Security will be much tighter, and it all starts with the perimeter. Only one entrance point here at the Capitol, and everyone will be screened. Communication should be much better between all agencies and